Hey everyone, last Tuesday of the month here at RPG Elite. That means we're going to get into what you have to say in our viewer comments. So let's do it. Welcome back to RPG Elite. For those of you who are coming back, this is the place where we put the RP back into RPG. We give you tools, tips, tutorials, and real talk, deep talk about those things that we don't like to talk about, but we just got to talk about them. And we open up those cans of worms here on RPG Elite. I want to say what's up to my leets. Love my leets. I want to say what's up to my returnees. I want to say what's up to my greenies, that's you. If this is the first time that you have come here to this channel, you are a greenie, and I want to welcome you. And I also want to thank you all for coming here today. We're going to get into your comments today and my response to some of your comments. Obviously, there's a lot of comments on my channel. I can't respond to all of them. And so I go through and I pick through all of my videos, which ones that I want to respond to. So sometimes you don't get a response because I'm waiting for the video at the end of the month. And as more comments come in, and I see some good ones that I'm like, hey, I want to respond to those. So we do that on the last Tuesday of every month. It's just viewer comments, me responding to you. But before we get into that, I want to turn your attention over to the community tab. And over there, yesterday, I posted the classic tabletop RPG image of the week. Put it up. There it is, folks. All you need to do is go over there to the community tab and take a stab at where is that image from. Don't know how to get to the community tab? Well, that's no problem there. Just go down in the description below. Down there will be a link to go straight to the community tab. And if you get it right, I will give you some love and a shout out in the intro to this Friday's video. I'll come out with videos every Tuesday and Friday. And if you are not subscribed to the channel yet, then go ahead, hit that subscribe button, smash that notification bell, and then come on back when Friday's video posts. Another thing that I want to turn your attention to is right there at the community tab. If you scroll down a little bit more, a while ago, I asked a question about GenCon and how many of you were going, not going, and all the rest of that. And I kind of want to revisit that because GenCon still is a little bit over a month away. And so far, as you can see here, over 80% of the people who responded, and a little bit over 100 here, are not going. Not going. And that 20-something% there is pretty high for people who just don't like Gen Con. Now, me personally, I have never been to Gen Con, and I know Gen Con is kind of a major thing, but then you got Gary Con that's getting into the mix now as well, so then there's that. So I kind of wanted to revisit this and kind of have you go over there as you are over there trying to get the classic tabletop image of the week. Scroll down a little bit and vote in that poll as well, because I'm still interested to see if I can get a little bit more of a sampling. I mean, if I get over 100 people that's voting, that's pretty good. That's kind of the place where I would like to be. But if I can get a couple more, if I get a few more and get people over there to vote, I'd be very interested to see how this balances out. All right, well, I got a special announcement as well. Something simple, very simple, but it's a big deal. It's a milestone here at RPG Elite. You want to know what it is? 100 videos posted. That's right. Now, this is actually the last video on Friday was my 100th video. 100, folks. And I think I want to do a little something special. And I just don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I would like to do a little something special. So I'm going to try to think of something. And if I put together either a YouTube short or maybe it'll be in the intro of Friday's video, not quite sure yet, but I just want to do a little something special because 100 videos, that's quite a few videos. And over time, got a little bit better at making the videos and still learning this thing and, but just having a lot of fun doing it. You know what I'm saying? So just a milestone here. I'm pretty excited. 100 videos. It's a lot of work, y'all. Right now, I'm going to get into a product highlight video with a master Tome GM screen. We're going to get into that. And then right after that, let's get into your comments and see what it is that you had to say here on the channel. Hey everyone, our product highlight today is the Master's Tome GM screen from Stratagem. You can organize your campaign with this fully agnostic customizable GM screen. It's compatible with any tabletop role-playing game and is a GM essential. It will give you 8 convenient pockets to use. It fits 8.5 by 11 paper, so you can go to any copy store, print your notes, your tables, your lore, your art, and you can just slide them right in. The notes and tables is going to be for you as the GM, and that will go on the inside, while the other stuff like your art or your lore or anything else, miscellaneous stuff, your players can see because it also has 4 more on the outside. Now, it automatically comes with these little art pieces here with the little gem looking thing right there that comes with it. But another thing that you can do with this GM screen is you can take notes directly on the vinyl if you need to. It has templates that it automatically comes with. You simply wipe it away. Comes with a marker, comes with an eraser that's on that marker. The thing you got to be careful of is just make sure you don't leave that stuff on overnight or leave it on until the next session, God forbid, because it'll be a little hard getting that stuff off. So just make sure you just wipe it off when you don't need it anymore, and preferably before your session ends. Now it stands 11.5 inches tall. It's over 3 feet wide, and then it folds down to just 1/2 inch thick. So it is very, very portable, very sturdy. Also, it's made of some really sturdy cardboard. So you can travel with this thing just about anywhere. Got a couple things to keep in mind though if you're going to grab one of these. Now, the first thing you got to keep in mind is that when you open and close this thing, it's made of a hard vinyl. So since it's made of a hard vinyl, you have to be careful about the creases here. Let me show you a little bit of what's happened with mine. In the middle, I don't know if you guys can see that in the middle right there, how it's torn away, right? All right. That was because the brother was folding and closing that thing way too fast. Just put a, closing up, blip. Okay, so if you open and close it slowly, then this thing will last for a very long time. And even with my boo-boo on it, right? I've had this thing since 2018 and it is still good to go. And technically, you can kind of repair that with your little home repair. You know how you do. You get some tape and you put it on there and you'll be good to go. So if you get some strong tape and you put it on there, since it's hard vinyl, man, this thing is going to last for a while. Now, the second thing you got to be careful of is when you put your inserts in. Right here, I don't know if you can see this, but right here, you see this lip of the plastic where your insert goes in between the vinyl and the plastic. Don't pull that out too far. If you pull it out too far, these edges right here, they're just glued on. So what's going to happen is if you pull it out too far, guess what? It's going to break. So just make sure that you just get enough room in there for the insert and it slides in very easily. Now, I haven't had any problems with that. All of mine are still connected and good to go on there. So this was a dream for me. And believe it or not, the price is still the same when I bought it. Like I said, I bought this one in 2018, and this is still good to go. Use it for my virtual tabletops. I just have it right next to me on my desk. It's all, I just unfold it, have all my charts and tables right there. All I have to do is look to the side real quick and then look back to my screen. A lot faster than having all that information and trying to click on stuff inside your virtual tabletop. So what you have to do if you are in the market for one of these, go ahead. I have a link in the description below, my little affiliate link, y'all. Click on that down below and you can go and grab yours over on Amazon right now. You'll thank me later. All right, we'll go over there, pick that up whenever you get a chance, if you need it. Or, here's something. If your GM is hurting for one, hey, as a player, go ahead, you guys chip in, buy them one, right? I mean, that's a good GM screen. Like I said, I have one. I still have it. I actually fixed mine, so I got a little bit of, you know, the universal repair tool. Got a little bit of duct tape on there now, and it's working like a charm. Actually, it's a little stiff in that area now that I fixed it, but it's a little bit stiffer than what I wanted it to be, so I got to open it up a little bit to give it some action. That thing's going to last me forever. For real, it's going to last me forever. Okay, let's get into your comments, and let's go to the first comment right here, which is from CF Who. From my most recent video, Gamma World 4th Edition Robots Part 1, he says, Traveler, since you did the various editions of Gamma World, does this mean you will cover the GURPS edition of Traveler as well? It looks like he was pretty excited about if I was going to do that. Okay, so let me explain. I'm doing these editions of Gamma World as a mistake. I mentioned this before. I shouldn't have done all 4 of them at once, which is why it's taken so long to get through the series. And so I did not plan on doing anything past 4th edition. That's it. That's all I got for you. Sorry about that. GURPS for me is not my bag. just not my bag. Don't think that I haven't tried it, because I have, and not quite. So no, I'm not going to be doing anything for GURPS, but thank you for the comment. Thank you for going in there. So let's go to our next comment. Our next comment comes from Greg Bruni. I like this one. And this is from my Start Your Tabletop RPG Campaign Right, RPG Quality number 6, RPG Elites Know the Rules of the Game. And this is what Greg says. He says, it's amazing that all this should be common sense, but I have found in some groups that it is not. I joined and played in a Star Wars West End Games version campaign for a few sessions. I never played the game before, so I went out, found and bought the 2nd edition revised book, read it, and learned the rules. I found out that I was the only one at the table that actually knew the rules. Even the game master didn't know the rules. Why, someone may ask? Because they never used any rules. They just liked talking in voices around the dinner table and hand-waving everything to happen. Not fun. Okay, I feel you on that, because that's not fun. Because if you remember, I kind of addressed this when we were talking about this in another video, and I said, listen, what we need is we need both. You know, we need that high level RP and we need the low level RP to balance each other out, because it sounds like they were trying to get into some high level RP without the low level RP. And so everything's arbitrary, and then, you know, it's just kind of like there's no structure, everything's not consistent, and you kind of throw rules out the window, and it's not fun because, you know, you don't remember all that stuff. You don't remember what you did before and if it was consistent with what you're doing now and all the rest of that, because you have no structure, you have no rules, you have no foundation. You got to have that lower level RP in there. You got to have that foundation. But then you really need to focus on the high level RP to get yourself a great experience. But I feel you, Greg. I feel you. And that is not RPG Elite in the least. And I wouldn't have had fun in that either. I would have been like, okay, so are we going to do this or are we going to do that? And if they would have kind of did what you said, which was wave you through, I would have stopped. I would have been like, okay, I think I'm done here. That's just me, man. Because again, time is life. I'm just not going to waste my time with that. If that's what they want to do, I'll let them go ahead and do it, because the brother, he ain't got to go home, but he got to get out of here. That is my attitude on that. Let's go to our next comment. This one here is from Bill Calloway, and it's on my video, The Negro Experience in the Tabletop RPG Culture. He says, I thought it was racist to call people Negro. I'm white in a rural town and I haven't seen blacks here before, so I can't easily keep track of what's right and wrong to say. Is it okay to say Negro now? Oh man. All right. The reason why I say Negro is because it is a better term. When we look at the term, it's not a perfect term, but it's better than black and white. And there's a reason why. I'm just going to give this briefly because I'm going to expand on this in another video later on. Not quite sure when, but later on. But listen to what I'm saying here. Negro is like Caucasian or Latino or whatever, you know, we automatically know, okay, when we talk about Negro, we're talking about dark-skinned folks from African descent, all right? Because number one, we have debunked the myth. There is no such thing as black and a white race. If you haven't seen my 2 videos that talk about this, you need to go there, Bill, and you need to look at those 2 videos. Number one, you need to look at those because that's debunked. Change your thinking. That's what those 2 videos are about. They're about changing your thinking. There's another reason why I don't like to use black and white, and I'm getting away from using it. And it's because it's a part of programming. Because the people who like to polarize people against one another, which there are scores of them in places of power in this nation and in others, they love to use those terms as a method to polarize people. And I'm just not going to be part of that equation and part of that nonsense. And so I'm going to go to something that's actually more accurate, that's focused more on ethnicity and culture to a degree. Like I said, it's not a perfect term. And if you look this term up, you're going to find that that is what it means. So that being the case, I like to use that term. It's a better term, and it's not feeding the narrative of the people who want to continue to divide us as a nation. I'm just not using that, you know. So it's retraining yourself so you won't be programmed. Now, having said all of that, you as a Caucasian, bro, they probably are going to take offense to it because of the fact that everybody's taking offense to every word on the planet now, right? And I'm not quite sure why you letting somebody dictate to you what you should say. Because today, people have lost their cotton-picking minds when it comes to that. And anybody who takes offense at Negro, right? They take offense at that, even though that is a technical term that is more accurate than just saying black and white. These are just people who are weak-minded individuals who wear their feelings on their sleeve and want to scream and yell because they just want things their way. And I ain't buying it, and I'm not falling for the okie doke. And if you decide that you want to go down that route, which I fully support that, but I just want you to know, because of the climate of which we are in, you're going to take a hit. But this is worth taking a hit for. It really is. But if you're not that kind of guy, then don't use it. But it's a better term. It's a more accurate term. And you should take the black and white thing. You should throw that out altogether. Remember, go look at my other 2 videos on this. Let's get to the next comment. This one here is from Joe Wild from my RPG Elite Quality number 5 part 2 video. RPG Elites will not play with any and everyone. Amen on the content, man. Been saying this stuff for years. Players seeking simple gratification are the worst. Invest in your hobby, people. Most people don't realize, but healthy hobbies can keep a ton of negative outcomes at bay. You want to know something? Oh, gosh. Joe. Bro, where were you at? I tried to tell my friend Jim this. Now, those of you who know, I lost a friend here earlier this year. Man, still hurting my heart. And this is one of the things that I was telling him because he had given up on tabletop RPGs. And I said, bruh, you actually need this. He needed it as an outlet. He needed it as a kind of therapy for him. I'm not going to get into the details and stuff like that, but he actually needed it. And there are some people, and this is a separate video, okay? And I will be doing it. But there are some people who need to use this as a way that's therapeutic for them. Tabletop RPGs can be therapeutic if they are used in the right way. But most people abuse tabletops in various different ways. And this comment, I wish you would have said when he was still here. I would have sent it to him and be like, listen, bruh, I'm not the only one that's saying this, but I do appreciate your comment and I do agree with you. let's get to our next comment. This one here is coming from the GenCon Poll that I have up. This is a comment from there from Wraith Roguestar. He says, GenCon has become a woke activist convention, not a game convention, so I refuse to have anything to do with it. Ouch. Junior, say ow. For all you old football fans. See, I've never been to GenCon, so I don't know what's up. I've heard this before. This is not the first time that I heard this. I've heard this before. That is what it has become. And if that's the case, I'm never going. Ever. I don't need it. I mean, you can go to other conventions, or there are smaller gaming conventions around, and you can go to those if you really want to do that. But yeah, I would never go to that. If there's any truth to that, never as I live will I go. I think this is reflective of what's going on with the poll, right? I mean, when you got over 80% of the people who say they're not going, some it's for logistics, others it's because they just don't like GenCon. Okay, I think that's a problem. I think people over at GenCon need to reevaluate some things. And again, I'm not talking about I only got 20 people who did the poll. This is like what, 120 something folks who did the poll? Come on. If that's the case, then okay, we need to reevaluate some things, because that's a lot of people who are not going. I don't know, just me. But if you're right, Wraith, well, we're going to have to meet one another either virtually or someplace else, bro. All right, let's get on with the next comment. This one here is from John Jamison. This is from my Gamma World Long Distance Part 2 video. He says, good to see more Gamma World love, pal. Keep it up. You have an excellent presentation style. I do wish you didn't limit yourself to classics. I think you would do an excellent job explaining the elegant simplicity that is Savage Worlds. You know, I have a burning desire to do things like the One Ring and to do things like Numenera. I really do. However, there is a reason why I'm doing what I'm doing. This is a long game that I'm playing here on this channel. It's a long game. And listen, every year, another game goes into the classic category, or multiple games go into the classic category, which is 20 years or older. So I will always have something to do. But maybe later on down the line, God willing, I'll just make a separate channel where I'm doing, you know, some more alternative system stuff, or who knows. I'm just thinking off the top of the mind right now. I don't know. But trust me, I've been tempted to go in other routes because I have a One Ring campaign. I've played Numenera and some other things. And so it's not that I haven't been tempted, but I'm really focused on the agenda right here. But thanks very much for the compliment and for the support here. I really appreciate that, my man. Next comment comes from Eric Stein. This is from my most popular video on the channel, 4 Reasons Black People Don't Play Tabletop RPGs. I don't understand why he won't mention the game that I refuse to mention by name on this channel. Okay, wait a minute. All right. You mean to tell me that out of 23, I think close to 24 minutes of video, in that particular video, that out of all of that, the thing that you found to comment on, to take the time to comment on, was that I don't mention a certain game by name on the channel? All right, I'm going to be direct, but that is just some very weak and superficial thinking. It is. I'm not trying to just be disparaging. I don't know you. And I'm not trying to just kind of be mean or anything, but it is. Out of 23 to 24 minutes of video, that's what you took away from it? That you thought like was the most important thing? That response to me says, I'm a very programmed person, and I'm curious as to why you're not as programmed as I am. See, that's what I hear. Because I'm not programmed like you are. Now, it's different strokes for different folks. And I talked to my wife about this because now I'm going to be fair. You're not the only one who's mentioned this, but people have mentioned this kind of like in their comments as they're commenting actually on the meat and potatoes of the video. That's not what they've just solely extrapolated out of this. And I think there was one more that may have done what you did. I'm just picking on you today. Sorry. And so I told this to my wife because there have been several people who have mentioned it. And so I said to her, you know, I'm going to answer that question because understand something. I wrote them down because I kept seeing it over and over. So I wrote them down. It's not just one reason. It's like 6 or 7 of them. And that by itself is a whole video. And I will make that video as soon as I get 100,000 subscribers. I'm not lying. So you want to know why? Well, start telling your friends to come on over, subscribe to the channel, get the channel up to 100,000 subscribers, and I will give you the full Monty, the whole thing. I'll lay it all out. Why I refuse to mention that game on my channel. All 6 to 7 reasons. So I'm not just being arbitrary here. There's some stuff behind it. Let's move on to our last comment right here. This one here is from Howard Kingston, my boy. This is from my Gamma World 4th Edition Robots Part 1, my latest video. He says, excellent. Traveler and Dark Conspiracy coming up. That is fantastic. I'm seriously looking forward to this. All right, so let me give you a 411 as far as what we got going on as far as the rest of the year, God willing, and into 2023. I've mentioned this on some other videos, but let me mention it again because, again, I got over 100 videos now. I mean, including this one. So that's a lot of videos for you to go and try to poke through. So let me give it to you. So I'm going to end the Gamma World series by doing a one-shot of Gamma World 3rd edition. That's the one that we're going to run. Next, I'm going to do our Top Secret 1st edition. And then we're going to do a Top Secret one-shot. After that, Traveler Starter Set Edition from way back. What is that? 80, I forgot, 83, 84 or something like that. I forgot. I have to look at it. But we're going to do that one. And we're going to do a one-shot after that. After that, Dark Conspiracy. I'm really looking forward to doing this one. I really am, y'all. Because I've kind of gone through and sifted through and glanced through stuff. And I'm like, man, I think I'm going to dig this one. So Dark Conspiracy is after that. And then after that will be Golden Heroes. Superheroes, y'all. And if you didn't know a little something as far as what's behind me and stuff like that, that just happens to be one of my favorite tabletop RPG genres. So that is what we have going all the way into 2023. Now, what's going to be after Golden Heroes? I have no clue. But that's what we have coming up. So keep it locked in here, as well as tutorials on things like Dungeon Alchemist and now the new Chronos Builder beta that's been out, and goodness, and some other stuff that we have planned, all these one-shots that we got planned at the end of each one for gameplay. Woo! Lots of work, y'all, but it's going to be worth it. It's a lot of fun, and I hope you will keep it locked in and stay here with me. Okay, well, that's it. That's all we got for our viewer comments. If you like the videos here, you like what you see, you like what's going down here, go ahead, hit the subscribe button, click that notification bell, and also, of course, you have just got to annihilate the like button. I'm talking about, man. Annihilate that button. That just helps the YouTube algorithm give me a little bit of love. And until Friday, y'all, if you've got a game going on, then of course, I'm going to say happy gaming. I hope it's a great session for you. Just keep getting better. And until then, a brother has got to...
So exit, stage left.
So, peace. Nah. Should I? Hey, Grease!